Hey YouTube, what's up? I wanted to make a quick little guide on how to get the brewing stand to brew the different potions and drinks from Cobblemon. JEI does show that you can do it in the potion brewer, however you cannot. Pretty much gonna set it up the same way though. You're gonna use the advanced pattern provider to provide the material to the brewing stand through different sides. I have an export bus that is exporting blaze powder into the side of the brewing stand. Potions also need to come, well, the water bottles or empty bottles do also need to come into the side. And your ingredients that you use, the medicinal leeks, the berries, the vivichoke, need to come to the top. Whenever you are encoding your pattern inside of your ME system, you want to have your water bottles. Go ahead and set it to 3. Set your out result to 3. And then in order, you want to use your ingredients that you need to make that item. So for example, I have a carbose here. If we go to carbose, you can see that this is the last step, right? So let me go to the PP up, which is in the middle, and then the beginning. The recipe begins by using a medicinal leek on some water bottles to get your medicinal brew. After that, you add in your Vivichoke to get the PP up, the tomato berry to get your carbose. So I have those 3 ingredients in order. I have my medicinal leek, my Vivichoke, and then my tomato berry to get my carbose. I'll craft that pattern, and then I'll open up the advanced pattern encoder, put the pattern inside of it. Like I said, the water bottle's going to come into the side, so we need these targeted faces at a direction, just not the up and down, right? So you can use the north, south, east, west. Use that for your water bottles, and then for your ingredients, they have to come in the top. So find this top face here and set that for all of them. As you can see on the side here, it is inserting the water bottle to the north, and then the leek, the vivichoke, and the tomato berry at the top. On the up face, that is complete. I'll put that inside of my pattern provider. Do want to make sure that you set on your advanced pattern provider to filter the import. I don't think that you need to do blocking mode, but I set blocking mode here to be safe. Filtered import means that it'll make sure that it cannot accept any item unless it is the item that is processing to create. And now if I go to my machine and I tell it to make some carbose, you can see what I have. We have our potions in here. Let me speed it up a little bit. Turn our water bottles into medicinal brew into PP ups, and then PP ups into carbose. Piece by piece. That's why you want to have all of your ingredients in order. So put some in one by one. I need to swap that around. I have, what is this? It's a transfer gadget, I believe. I have a transfer gadget between my machine. The transfer gadget is kind of slow. I did originally use pipes. So I've been messing around with trying to make a smaller setup. So yeah, you can see that I moved out those items. And it is not sucking out the water bottles. I'll go ahead and speed it up again so we can look at it. It'll go through each piece and it won't suck anything out until it gets to the carbose. That's what's very nice about these advanced pattern providers. I'll slowly start taking them out. See, this is kind of slow. I usually use pipes or, some other type of transportation. But I was trying to find something a little bit more sleek and less wires and stuff everywhere, cables, all that good stuff. Can I? Oh, you can slap it out. Oh, neat. So yeah, I did try to make a bigger stack of them, and it's kind of funky. I probably wouldn't do this design. I tried to make a tower of them. I have ME conduit from Ender.io between them to keep all the advanced pattern providers online. And I have conduit sucking out of these into the pattern providers, and all the pattern providers are set up the same way. If you didn't know, so if you have some empty patterns in your inventory, and you use your memory card, sneak right click on the pattern provider that you want to copy, and then right click on the pattern provider that you want to set up. It'll place all the patterns in there, and it will also copy over the blocking mode and the filter import settings. It pretty much copies all the settings, right? So that's a good, easy way to fill up all your different pattern providers with all the same recipes. It won't fill up other stands while it has one that is actively filling up because it's holding onto those recipe parts. So this ends up not really working out too well. I thought it would. I guess if you did want it to work out, you would have to have the ingredients get put into a middleman, a middle inventory, and then have those middle inventory items be piped into each individual brewing stand, which it would place them in order, right? Which I think would mean it should get sucked out of that inventory in that order, right? I think most pipes go from like the top left to the bottom right, I believe. So I'm sure someone else could think of a great way to set up a whole bunch of these. So yeah, it looks. I was gonna say it looks cool. It doesn't really look that cool. I thought it would work, and it only works slightly. Whenever it gets to the end of the pattern and it places in that last ingredient, the berry that it uses, it'll start working on one of the other brewing stands, but then it stops. You know, it just works on that one while the other ones just kind of sit around and they don't do anything. So this was not the way. I did also have a modular router filling up all these with blaze powder with some distributor cards. If you do set up the modular router, make sure that you click the sides of your brewing stands whenever you're highlighting them with your distributor cards, or else it'll start putting them into, like, I accidentally did the top at first. If you click even if you click the base of the stand here, aiming from up down, instead of like the side of the base right here, it'll assume that you're trying to fill in from the top, and it'll place all your blaze powder right here, and then it'll not work, right? So you can see it's filling it back up now. Boop, 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 boop. Nice. So yeah, this ain't the way to do it, but you can figure it out, right? I'm sure there are some very intelligent individuals that can make a nice and beautiful way to do this. I guess the only other way to do it would be to have one interface per brewing stand, which means you're going to take up a lot of channels on your network, but I don't know. It just depends on how quick you need these, right? It's not like I'm using these all the time, so I don't really mind maybe setting up like a ME requester to just have like a stack, right? Like have an ME requester, set a stack of them to be produced and kept in an inventory at a time, or however you want to keep your inventory full of them. But yeah, hopefully that helps you out, and you can get your Cobblemon potions going. Sound good? All right, have fun, take care, see you next time.